him, we as in me and Anya, we have to show him that he's equal in this relationship, that he matters in this relationship.
What the heck? This is how we're starting? The breakup is in. There's no way that they are going to last and stay together. The three of them, the two of them, it doesn't matter. This is how we're starting out, is they have to figure out a way to bring him in because Ani and Amani's relationship is so deep. That's what we're starting up with. Oh my gosh, it's real. But we'll get to all those breakdowns because, my God, it just gets crazier and crazier. First, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Make sure you get all those notifications, mark it off on the bell, so that way anytime a video comes out, you can see it. I appreciate all the support. We're going to get right into it because, my God, they just packed it all in today. But we starting with the throuple because, good Lord, I mean, does it just sound just crazy to say it when you say it like actually them considering themselves a throuple when they can't even get their marriage together?
With another woman that I planned for. Sounds weird saying.
It sounds weird saying because it is weird saying. You literally are an extremely jealous person. You've admitted such, but you decided it'd be a good idea that we have to make this thing work because you want your girlfriend to be a part of it. So let's have the husband go on a date with the girlfriend that they seem to not even, well, they have plenty of chemistry when they're, you know, doing the dirty, if you know what I'm saying. But other than that, they got to find the love. This lady is crazy.
She said that you told her that you love her,
Oh.
but not so much me.
Oh my gosh, he has got to be the most pathetic excuse for a man. She said that you love her, but not so much me. And he even says it like a weak, cowardly man, like a turtle going back in his shell. And I like turtles. Any turtle I find out there in the yard is going to be more manly than this guy. What a coward.
I want to try never broke your heart no more.
Oh, that's good. I want to try never broke your heart no more. I get it. There's a language barrier. This chick is playing them like there's no tomorrow. Let's reference back to the fact that they met in a strip club and now she's been milking them for money ever since. But we get to more of that when we talk about some exes, but that's a little bit later.
In the back of my mind, I understand the possibilities of you know, what could happen.
Oh, okay.
And I know that I should give her a little bit of faith.
No, you shouldn't. And your instincts were right when you were like pulling back. Instead, now your wife set you up on this date and you had a little kiss and you got a little feeling down in your pants. And now you're like, I should give her a shot. My man, you're thinking with the wrong head, bro chacho. You're about to ruin everything that you've built with your wife because your wife wants to have a girlfriend and you're not thinking with the right head. Pretty stupid on your part. Where the hell did they dig up Freddie Mercury? I mean, I don't mean that in the disrespectful way because Queen had some good songs, but my God, does that guy not look like Freddie Mercury right now? Just one song. We Are the Champions, you know, maybe something along those lines.
But do you realize that it's not me making that rule?
Yeah.
Then why am I the one that's being punished?
Talking about the rule that he can't work. He says he feels like he's just like the dog sitter. And she's saying, well, can't you just, don't you understand? I'm not making the rule. Yes, but you're the one that pushed him into doing this because he originally wanted to just stay in Turkey. It was your guilt and basically saying we wouldn't be able to last as a couple that brought him over here. So don't act like that you don't have anything to do with what's going on right now.
Oh, please.
1.5 years together
Oh
in
my
Turkey.
God, you're so dramatic.
I'm not dramatic.
So dramatic.
I'm just
Let me just point you to the fact that just a couple lines earlier, she was saying how he's different and he's not the same person. But the second he says that and that she's a different person, now all of a sudden he's being dramatic. You notice how she doesn't ever take accountability? Sarper has plenty of faults. I mean, the fool got some stuff he's got to work out. I still don't doubt he wouldn't go and cheat because, you know, he's definitely got that playboy mentality. But let's not act like Shekinah is completely innocent. She's not. She thinks she is, but she's not.
Everything is uprooted. He doesn't have his own car. He doesn't have a U.S. license. He
Yes.
doesn't have a routine. He doesn't have his certain spots that he knows and likes.
Oh, yeah. All the stuff she just said is the reason why he's said he's been feeling down, depressed, maybe a little frustrated. All of those things. And she admits that she understands that. She just doesn't care. That's the thing. It's not a matter of she doesn't understand. No, she gets it. She understands why he's frustrated, why he's on edge, why all these things. She just doesn't care because the reality is anything that messes up her bubble, she doesn't want nothing to do with. But she can go over to Turkey and just completely tear apart his bubble. And he's like, sure, Sure, come in, this is your home, but not in her house. It's still her home, not his. Yay, we're having a celebration. Woohoo.
I was a little nervous, kind of break a little bit. I feel like,
but you feel great now because you got this job. Problem is he's turned down other jobs, turned down other interviews. He's mentioned numerous jobs he's had in the past that he doesn't have now. So the concern is now, like, in 2 weeks, is he going to say, yeah, but this job isn't for me? So good thing he got a job, but don't get her hopes up if you're going to leave that job and say, yeah, but I'm really better at baking bread. I just have to figure out how to make this business work with no money in my savings account. So I won't hold my breath on the fact that this is going to be the one.
But I think a guy and a woman kind of feel it different.
True.
For me,
100%.
just make sure everybody comes to whoever want to come, and everything's fine.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, look, that's just guy 101. I mean, we really don't care about stuff like that, let's be honest. It's like, okay, whatever works. People are here, have a few friends, have family. All right, this is fun. Cake, you know, I mean, if you drink, I don't drink, but if you drink, I guess have a few drinks. Whatever. It's simple. We're simple. What are you going to do? When he's right, he's right.
I don't know, just all American, you know. It's just nothing wrong with the place. It's just, I don't see any Colombian thing around here.
Ah, yes. That's the interesting thing. Oh, she's pissed. As soon as he said, all he's pointing out is the fact that it's very American. We're in America. Of course it's very American. But she's known he's from Colombia and maybe might just be like, hey, but we're going to put little things of your culture just to make you feel comfortable. Your parents are going to be, or your relatives are going to be here. So we might want to add some elements. She looks mad. She looks mad that he even mentioned that there wasn't any elements of his culture. Like, it's like you're destroying everything over a very simple question.
Juan brings up he's kind of disappointed that there is not enough of his culture in the wedding.
Wonder why.
Which is kind of irritating.
Why the hell is that irritating? She goes on to say that he's had plenty of time. We've been engaged for 2 years. He should have mentioned it. Lady, he's over on the other side of the world, working cruise ships, whatever. You could argue maybe he should be more involved, I guess. But why would it be hard for you just to take a step or two to say, hey, maybe we can get a certain flower, maybe we can have this, whatever it is, to kind of include his culture, because he's coming there now in a whole new environment, probably not thinking of the wedding in the aspects of like, oh, it's got to be something this, something that. He's just coming there and seeing it and perfectly reasonably mentioning that maybe we need some elements of culture and you want to get mad or irritated. That's a you problem.
I would have loved to incorporate some of those things.
Sure.
Had he communicated these things.
She's a damn liar. She is a damn liar. She doesn't care they didn't communicate. She was trying to do it from her vision. And quite frankly, he doesn't really care what the wedding looks like, except just to have a few elements of his culture. What is wrong with that? Instead, she wants to be mad and put all the blame on him, saying he should have mentioned it. Lady, you're marrying this guy. It should have been common sense or something you would want to do. Just like if you were from the other culture, it should have been common sense or something he would want to do to just kind of make you feel comfortable. But no, because you're not capable of thinking past yourself, it would seem.
Aller chez elle. Je suis
Oh.
surprise qu'elle m'a invité à
Oh,
faire
that's
du
nice.
crochet.
Pat invited her to crochet. My guess is more drinking than crochet, I would say, because Pat likes the sauce.
She needs a stitch and ditch.
Ah, okay.
Have
Shake-
a few sips
There you go.
and crochet.
I'm gonna guess that not much actual crocheting gets done, or they end up starting out trying to make a hat or a sweater, and they end up making like a 5-foot long sock or something. It probably doesn't end well, and by the end they're just laughing uncontrollably and slurring their speech. I'm not gonna lie, I might watch that show.
Everybody said you need to sign the prenup.
Not true. Why are you even saying that? Like, you're making it seem like absolutely everyone ganged up on you, and that's not really what happened. Jordan was way out of line. There was no reason for her to bring up the prenup there, even if you think a prenup probably should happen. The other family members were skeptical, but weren't really treating you badly. So, saying that they all expected you to sign this prenup, that's not really true. Now, it could be a little bit of a language barrier. I get that in how she's saying it, but let's not act like everyone was like, here's the pen, sign the prenup.
Position you are in
Oh.
as a woman
Oh.
who has now 2 children.
Oh. Wait, hold on a second. What about the one you left behind, though? Why is she crying over this? She left her child behind, crying about some passport issue, when in reality, if you were trying to be the best mother to your child, you would have stayed and said, we have to figure this out another time once we get the passport straight. So, although Jordan has been completely bad for her, let's not just let her off the hook and act like she didn't cause problems or hasn't really caused damage to her son by abandoning him and basically saying, I'll get you at some point.
But in this situation, I don't feel like I did anything wrong, so it's a little bit harder for me to apologize for something that I don't feel like I...
Okay, let's just go ahead and put it out there that Stevie never thinks she does anything wrong. So her saying, in this situation, I don't think I did anything wrong. You never think you did anything wrong. You've lied several times. You've kept things several times. You didn't even tell your dad about him until he was there. You are a liar and you like to hide things. So go ahead and just admit that you just never want to say you've done anything wrong, at least so people can either decide to stick in your life or get out, because all it's going to cause is problems.
You would always tell me anything you would do.
So I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, but that really was not...
Again, the non-apology apology. She can't even make a real apology. So he's simply putting out there that basically you've always been open, you've always been honest, you've told me things. But guess what? Instead of her saying, you know what, I'm sorry, I kept that from you. Leave it at that. She said, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. When someone says, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, it means they don't really feel like they should apologize. That's like a half-ass apology saying, you know what, if you were a little hurt, if you cried a little bit, whatever, but I'm sorry. It's like the most sarcastic apology you can give.
I just want you to be enough forever.
You're not going to get anything more out of me other than me saying that I love you and I want to be with you, and that's it.
He's saying, because there's some speculation on whether she's bisexual, okay, fine, but questioning and saying, I just want to be enough for you. That's what he says. The core of why he's asking is, I just want to make sure I'm enough and you're not going to leave me for someone else, whether it's a girl or a guy. That's it. That's what he's saying. And what she says, I'm not going to say anything more. All I'm saying is I'm happy now. That is the biggest non-answer I've ever heard. He needs to run for his life, because she is leaving the door open for her to just basically run off and have fun in her life and leave him in the dust after they're married, which is awful.
Should I be spending money? No.
Oh.
Should I, be saving for a house? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what, man? It's New York City.
Okay. Said every bad decision that's ever been made in history. Should I do this? No. Should I spend the money? No. But you know what? This could be the next slot. Should I do this? No. Should I hang out with this person? No. But hey, if I get busted for a drug crime, it is what it is. This is the worst logic I've ever heard, and they are never going to be able to save any money if they're thinking like that.
You take the other two fingers and you
Teach her how to eat a pizza. You know what? I'm not going to lie. I've never been to New York City. But if I did go, and you never know, one day maybe, I feel like I'd want to go to a pizza place and sit there and eat it with a fork and a knife just to get all the mad looks and people like yelling and cussing at me, because I think it'd be hilarious. Call me a contrarian, but I think it'd be funny.
Come home one day and say, oh, in 6 weeks I'm getting some sort of surgery, and, that's just what it is.
Yes, and guess what? That probably will happen, because everything we've seen with you and Aaliyah's relationship shows that y'all are on completely different pages. So yes, Aaliyah's going to come home one day and say, not only have I scheduled this surgery, but look, they're already here. They're right here. And you're going to be like, okay, I guess, or no. What you're going to do is you're going to go be sleeping around, doing whatever you're doing, and this is just going to be the made-for-TV relationship that it is, which at this point, I'm really thinking that all this is them trying to make it to the end of the season, because there's no way that they end up together. They're on polar opposite ends of the spectrum.
Even though I want to support Aaliyah and everything that she wants to do with her life, I think the marriage wouldn't survive that.
It won't, which is why this whole thing is pointless, which is why every time we see the storyline, it's like, why? I mean, I get it. Y'all both want fame. Both of you, Aaliyah, Sean, y'all want to be in front of the spotlight, whatever y'all are doing. But this is all pointless. It's about the most pointless storyline and the one that's the biggest fake that I've ever seen. And they're all pretty fake, so that's saying a lot.
And besides his wife, Megan, I think is a little bit crazy. He's such a fun dude.
Okay. Just to put this into context with you, he has become friends with the guy whose wife is the best friend with his wife and the one that constantly asked him to explain how he's getting his wife to trust him. So, bad idea, man, because everything you say is going to go right back to that wife. And if you think you can confide in this dude, you're about to have a bunch of arguments with your wife because everything's going to go right back to her.
Outside, when it's 0 degrees out, something you're going to have to think about. What you want.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do that. So that's the thing, is there's no jobs around here except for agriculture. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, damn, I need a job. I'm out there working whatever field I need to, whatever cow I need to push, whatever, poop I need to clean up. It doesn't matter. I'm going to provide for my family. That's just the man mentality. He has a trouble adapting to this whole separate thing, and she is not trying to make him feel like he is important or a part of this family in any kind of relevant capacity. All she keeps saying to him is, you need to just be okay staying home with your son. Well, I'm sure he is okay with that, but he wants to provide, and that is a hard pill to swallow as a man. Look, some people can be stay-at-home dads. That's fine. It is not for most men. Most men have it ingrained in them to provide, and when that's taken away, it's very, very difficult.
I could just do another contract on the boat and
save wrong.
More money, and that would take us a little farther ahead,
He is saying this to the wrong person and saying it to Megan's husband, because this is going to get right back to her, which is going to get right back to Jessica, which is going to make you have a giant fight. Which, by the way, I wouldn't be surprised the way he's talking about if he has already signed a contract for the new boat and he's going to go off jet setting and just be gone, which is not good either, because you have two sides. The one side where she needs to kind of have some more respect for him, but yet he still needs to be there for his child. So they need to find a balance. Otherwise, he's going to be leaving that child without a father and running off to the cruise ship. So they better figure it out or it's going to get bad.
I'm sure Jessica will be kind of sad, but I also know that I'm miserable here, not having a job and staying at home.
And you know what? She should acknowledge that a little bit more. But if you're talking about leaving your child for months at a time, that's not good either. And that does not make you the good one in this situation. You are both wrong. Y'all both need to figure it out. But you know who suffers? As always, the kids.
Somehow felt like the cards were falling in line.
You are a freaking idiot. It felt like the cards were falling in line because you had one martini date with the girlfriend y'all met in a strip club. Of course, your wife wants to hear that, but you saying that all the things are falling in line, you got to be on drugs, my friend. What is wrong with you?
And her hiding me from her family, I had to go through all the red flags in the relationship.
What the hell? You are sitting here putting your husband off on a date with this lady, trying to make this relationship work, and then you're going to say, but you know what, there are red flags I had to go through, and I found some. What kind of cognitive dissonance do you have that you can't even comprehend with your brain some minor red flags that should have made you run away about a year ago?
Every single time she's just saying some different stuff about Ray, and I'm in love but not dumb,
No, you're dumb. You're not, for one, you're not in love, you're infatuated, you have some sort of lust, and you're dumb because you can have no problem going through the list of red flags, including an ex-boyfriend who you sent money to because his name was on the account, but you're still acting like there might be some hope there that this chick is not scamming you. You are one of the dumbest people that is devoid of brain cells on this show.
We've been sending her money through the course of the relationship, through this bank account that they opened when they were dating.
Do you actually believe that? Why are you believing everything this person tells you? This sounds like a pimp who is using stripper girls to scam money from other people, and you got scammed, and yet they're just writing it out because you're too stupid to realize it, and you continue to send money. That's what this sounds like.
Well, there was no rule that says do not talk to my ex.
Yeah, I love how they're all about the rules until something changes and now they're like, oh, I didn't make that rule yet. We'll have to do it later after we do this. Now, I couldn't care less. Y'all do your investigation because this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And all this is good for is some trashy plot that is just going to end in everything falling apart. I just hope your kids don't suffer too much, as they probably already have.
To do something behind her back really, really tugs at my moral heartstrings.
What's wrong with me?
This guy? This is the guy that played you? It's even worse when you see him. Y'all just need to run. Just run away in shame. Like, forget about the love and all that. Run in shame. This guy is the guy that is part of the scam that you've been sending money to. This is like the most unassuming pimp I think I've ever seen. Oh my gosh, at least throw some peacocking on him or something.
But I want to be. I want to be more.
Okay, he's in here trying to spread
just kind of going
petals.
movies, I guess, here.
Run, always, movies, popping champagne. Oh my gosh. He told her to stay at the door so he could run in there and fix everything up and throw some petals out there, pop the champagne, everything. I'm like, come on, man. If you're really handling your business, you're doing that ahead of time so it's ready to go. I mean, but all right, I get it. Maybe you didn't have many romantic dates. You do what you can. I give you a pass.
I know I overpush you, like you have to work, you have to...
No, you didn't overpush him to the work thing. He should have been already working, so that should have been done. He should have just been wanting to have a job because that's what you do as an adult. So you didn't overpush there. You overstep with the mom a bit, but overpushing on the job, no, he needed it. I would just not hold your breath on whether he's actually going to keep that job.
That she makes closer to Aaliyah as I move further from the original relationship. And
yes, and why are you still, like, the question after everything Sean says is always going to be, why are you still here and why is this moving forward?
100% her, then
okay.
I'm here for it.
That is about the fakest smile that he should be called out on right now, and no one should be able to even see, believe what he's actually saying. You might as well just admit that you are not attracted to everything that's happening, so go ahead and move on, because this is all pointless.
That I'm doing the right thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, just keep in mind there's no one right answer. Whatever you choose, that's the right answer for you.
Wow, so I guess this doctor is just not going to say, hey, all of this extremely intrusive surgery might cause problems, extreme complications. Instead, whatever you choose is right for you. If you decide to do this crazy surgery, then go ahead, come back. I'm happy to cut you open and do something and create a female anatomy that's not really a female anatomy because you can't create a female anatomy. It's just a wound. So, but she's not going to say all that. None of that is really what's being said to someone who doesn't really understand. It's just whatever you decide is fine. Yeah, seems like a good doctor practice. She should have her license taken away.
The man that I'm with doesn't know what I need to hear in this moment. He doesn't know what to say.
What the hell did she just say? The man I'm with doesn't know what I need to hear in this moment, doesn't know what I need to say. I mean, that's just... okay, I don't think anyone knows what you want them to say, Shekinah. That's the problem. This isn't normal couple stuff. This is you wanting him to be a mind reader and not even willing to admit that you had a part in some of these arguments. Maybe not even this one particularly, but you have definitely had a part in some of the arguments in the past, but you don't want to admit that you've ever been part of the problem. Instead, you want him to come up with the perfect thing to say in that moment to make everything better. You must be high.
When Shekinah came to Turkey, my home was hers.
Yes,
more than
true.
mine.
Yes.
And my family treated her just like their own daughters.
Yes, his family treated her well, and he did treat the house like it was her own. That is the difference. He did all that when she went to Turkey. She did not do the same when they came home. Instead, he gets interrogated by all the family, which, okay, there were some things from the past, but they didn't really seem like they actually wanted to kind of like accept or talk to him. It was kind of cold-hearted, and her house was her house. It was not Sarper's house. He couldn't cook there. He couldn't eat there. He couldn't be there when she had clients. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. She is in no way, shape, or form equal to the things he did when she was in his country. It's getting crazier by the day. We're just waiting for each couple to break up and just be done with each other because, my God, it gets insane as every time there's another wrench thrown at them, the throuple thinks they could actually make it work when we all know what's happening to begin with. Sean and Aaliyah are just on the ropes as it is because they're just fooling themselves about what they want. Then you have Sarper and Shekinah, who personally I think they'd make their own good show and it'd be entertaining, but they can't seem to get past this petty fights. So it should continue to be interesting, but I think we're going to have some pretty crazy breakups as we go forward. But I appreciate you joining me. Thank you for the support. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Make sure you hit all notifications so you get all the videos. So whenever we put something out, you get a notification on it. I appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all next time.